Hey y'all, it's your girl, the real deal, Lanita Gill. Like, share, and subscribe. Y'all, back, when was it? I did a story on Brian Laundrie and Gabby, beautiful Gabby. And I will never forget the look of Abby face. Excuse me, y'all. Abby face when she was sitting in the police car crying that she was putting the blame on her that what happened to her and Brian when they was in the van. Because he had, you know, he had scratches all over his face and stuff. And she was putting the blame on him. This here case was more of a fairy tale. You know what I mean? I would never forget Gabby. I would never forget this tragedy. I promise you, I would never forget her. Um, I want to get into the notebook. It's a notebook, a notepad that they found from Brian. Now, I, in a way, I really don't think his family knew what he was filming or what he was preparing. I think Brian was creating a fairy tale movie of how he was going to get away with murder with Gabby, allegedly. You know what I mean? Uh, this is an update, y'all. Now we want to get into the notebook and the confession of Brian. Now, in this confession, Brian portrays himself as a hero, allegedly, who tried everything to save his beautiful princess, Gabby. Okay? Somehow, it ended up where he had to kill her to put her out of pain. Something happened to Gabby, and he had to take her out her miseries, allegedly, and killed her because she was in a lot of pain, allegedly. However, now this is coming from Brian's own words. He didn't even know how bad Gabby injuries were. Although he was very outdoors, he was an outdoors person. He can live in the wilderness. He really can. Now we know, you know, we know that Brian kept a flashlight. We know it. Something similar with him. Okay. Now the two of them, Brian and Gabby, were constantly filming. They were filming on TikTok. They would film in the wilderness. They would film everywhere they go like a fairy tale. They would always film, y'all. If you've been following this case, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So they must have had their smartphones with them. They had to have their smartphones with them. Okay? Now, the reception out there in the woods, y'all, seems to be good, don't it? It seems to be very good out there because they were doing a lot of filming, unless they found a spot to film. So he could call for help. He had to have a spot out there in the woods. Well, if he want some help, he'll call. And, if he want his family or whoever, he can call them. His story is not credible. Brian's story don't sound credible. He left her outside where he killed her, thinking nature would do her very best to destroy every evidence. Okay, his story don't add up. Now, if you kill yourself, it'll become a punishment. You can at least tell the truth. He could at least he could have told the truth. Cause Gabby family deserves the truth, y'all. Gabby family, I would never forget this story. I would never forget Gabby. Now, what bothered me with Brian was why did he want to kill himself instead of confess? Now, I think that was part of his story. He saying that he chose to end his life out in the opening, for all us to see, so that the animals would eat and destroy his body after it's proof right there. You know what I mean? No, wow, this is hard. And the Patillo family, I really sad for them what the Laundries did to their families. You know what I mean? It is so inexcusable and unforgivable. This is disgusting, y'all. Mm. The mom, it's just sad. It's just all of this is sad. Now, during this lawsuit, I'm gonna let y'all hear a little bit of it. Uh, Brian mother is asking for help. Brian mother is asking for help in this, y'all. And I wonder why he lost his health so early. He wasn't no more about 30 something, 20. What's he, 30 something? Let's hear a little bit of JB. JB is one of the news reporters that spoke on this case. Hold on for a minute.
There was an offer to assist Brian with some things in that letter.
Those are the words from the lawyer of Gabby Petito's family, pointing to new evidence the FBI collected, a letter delivered to Brian Laundrie from his mother Roberta, in which he was allegedly offered some help of some kind regarding Gabby Petito. That's the claim from that side, plus a reevaluation of Brian.
Now, the mama is not accepting that letter like that, y'all. Now, this part, I will never, ever forget. This the part I was talking about, Gabby. When Gabby was talking to that officer, can I get you to step out? That they were asking Gabby to step out the car as if she was a killer. I didn't get that part. So did they know Gabby? Did they know Petita or Brian? This part, Gabby's and Brian case, I couldn't understand why they were treating her like the suspect. They're gonna ask her to step out. Why they didn't ask him to step out? She's the female who crying. So I guess they caught her hitting him. I don't get this part.
You said, I think I don't have my notes in front of me and I can't look at my phone because I'm on the Zoom, but he said something about an offer that it was an offer from Roberta to Brian, and then he told me, and it was like I was trying to pull it out of him because he didn't have the letter in front of him, and he like really didn't want to talk that much about it, but like kind of did. So I was like trying really hard, and the most I got out of him was he said something.
It said the FBI is working with our partners in the Tatum County Sheriff Office, Jackson Police Department. This when they were looking for poor, beautiful Gabby. And I said if Gabby had got help from them police right then, those officers, she would have been safe.
To the effect of Roberta said I would bake a cake and put a saw in it.
Right.
If you end up in jail, something like that, which I thought was really weird. Which again was interesting because Mr. Bertolino, when he responded to the letter to us, said it was a letter from a long time ago before the trip.
And if y'all look right here, it's no way, y'all. That's a lot of writing. Do y'all know how many pages that they have like this? It's a lot of writing in this. Tonight she would wake. It's always at Gabby's fault. It's a lot of writing, y'all. This is a lot of writing. He got away with too much. Poor Gabby. That's when she was crying. They was talking to the police and everything. I think Gabby didn't know what was going on. Gabby was in love. She didn't know what was going on. Let's see what this say. Looking at the photo from our life together, flipping through old cars, you wouldn't want to live a day without her. Um, knowing that everything, hold up, y'all, I can't see. Knowing that every day you'll wake up without her, you would want to wake up. I'm sorry, everyone. This will affect. I mean, it don't even make sense. How in the world, Gabby? I'm sorry to everyone. This will affect Gabby. Was the love of my life, but I have what? Sorry about me. I'm so very sorry to her family because I love them. Now he said he loved Gabby family, y'all. And he loved Gabby. That's her mom. That's Gabby's mom, y'all. Mm. Feel so sorry for her. And that's his family. That's Brian's family. That go Gabby. This is sad. This is so sad.
I'd fully know about it because you would think that that's something they would have put in the lawsuit.
And well, we know that at this stage, I've been told that at this stage with where they are with the lawsuit, that they're not at the presentation of evidence stage, that they're just stating their claims. But
that makes sense. Yeah, so maybe they were kind of saving it.
Maybe this was, we're hearing now what's been in their back pocket, what they've been sitting on for so long. Also, I want to point out as well regarding this odd, extreme, whatever words used to describe it, Roberta letter. When we texted, I think he sent you the same response. The envelope said on it, "Burn after you read this," which leads us all to believe that the contents of this letter were not meant to be known by anybody other than Brian Laundrie, that Roberta had full intention of this being a one-way message and then it being destroyed upon it being received by her son Brian. The words are...
Yeah, this part right here. This when Gabby got out that car and they treated her so wrong, but they didn't treat him bad. The officers did. This is Brian wrote all of this, y'all. It said, I wish I was right at your side. I wish I could. He's talking to you right now. I be going through every morning. So while she done, all them days he was writing this, we made getting even more. What I can't say for the future. Oh, and all this, he said that wrote all this anyway.
Something to the effect of, burn after you read this, being on the cover of the envelope, Bertolino had this to say: I do know it's a movie, and what she wrote on the cover of a letter to Brian many months before the trip had the title of a movie on there. And so there is a George Clooney, Brad Pitt, John Malkovich, Tilda Swinton movie by the name of Burn After Reading. I don't know. That might be the legal tactic that Bertolino is setting up here, but that was.
He certainly came up with it fast. If that was, I mean, you know. And you sent me that screen grab of like the poster from that movie.
Yeah.
Hey, Shirley.
Is it an old? I don't know anything about the movie. Is it an old movie? Do you know? Is it?
No.
No, I haven't seen it. Other than I know that people were commenting at me yesterday saying it's a good movie, and now people are saying, "Oh, go watch it." But I mean, again, we're staying focused.
I really don't want to watch the movie because I remember Gabby when it's first. I did a story on this. It's on my channel all the way at the beginning, and the letter he wrote, he put it on his pad. Everything he wrote, he had plenty of time to thank you,
on
baby.
the subject matter here, I have a lot to watch on Netflix, and I am behind on so many different things. People getting me to
He
watch
don't
so
made
many
a
various
movie.
shows. So perhaps
Now
I'll add
this
that
the
to the
part
list.
when I cried. This is when I cried because this girl, they asked her to get. They was fighting. Said, I'm not crying. We just been fighting this morning, some personal issues, and when they told her to step out the car, they did not. They treated her like she was a suspect and he was the victim, and then they put her in a police car. And I would never forget Gabby looking sad. That really, this girl had hurt my feelings. She was trying to tell the police stuff, and they wouldn't even listen to her. They believed Brian. They ain't even check his license.
Regardless, that is the response from Stephen Bertolino. And then I want to get into the hashtag HJB, hashtag HBrian comments here in just a moment. But then the last thing that came out yesterday is Riley making claims
Never
of a
cared.
second, and then to you, Brian, potentially even a third version
You know what,
of a
Charlize?
confession.
They had this information. They been had it. You right. They did Gabby so wrong. And you can about tell who run the place. Brian family runs everything. They did not protect her. Okay? They did that beautiful girl so bad. It just, whew.
That Brian Laundrie left behind. We know of one that is in the form of a that is on a digital device. We believe it is something that is perhaps written out on a digital device. And Riley indicated to me that it's not something that fully adds up with the notebook confession, the 8 pages that were released yesterday by Bertolino.
They even
so that's going to be interesting. Again, it's kind of like
I
when
couldn't understand it. They took their precious time about finding him. They knew he was. They just used taxpayer money. They knew what had happened. They had to gather all their evidence because they were coming in and out of his house. And he was finding something in the yard. Gabby was so beautiful. They can't change minds either. I love Gabby. I just fell in love with her.
thought we knew everything,
And they was on TikTok.
or most of everything. Now we're learning there's more, which I had heard rumblings of for quite some time, like, oh, just wait till your FOIA comes back, your Freedom of Information Act request from the FBI, which is going to take forever because you know how the federal government
You
is,
know,
and it's
I always wondered why was Brian bald head so soon? He don't have no hair. He young, but he old. He look like an older man. I hope she is, honey. I do too, and I hope he was screaming on. It is sad. I read him did my crime with Gabby. I felt sorry for Gabby because it was too much going on. And I knew when Dog left this case, but Dog the hunter, the bounty hunter, I knew when he left that he knew that Brian had killed that girl. He knew that they weren't gonna find that he was dead. He knew when he left that Brian was dead.
like a nightmare. Um, so there are these little things now trickling,
Oops.
possibly two other confessions. So you know, again, I think if this
They breaking up.
I think you're breaking
a
up a
lot of this
little
stuff's
bit
gonna
here,
come out.
Brian.
Oh,
Can you repeat that last point? You were breaking up there a bit.
That's her
Hopefully we get a
mom.
better signal.
And there go they film
sorry,
Brian.
can you hear me, JB?
I think I got you.
I was just saying, I think I might be. Am I back?
But
Yeah, I
you know
got
what, Charlize, somebody like you, they knew Brian been dead. Brian been gone. You said I really commend you for always staying up with it. Girl, I love it because I go back in with my stories. I did a story on this couple right here, and I like to go back and update for people, to let them know what's
Okay.
going on.
No, I was just saying that there's been a lot that's come out that I didn't expect. We had heard rumblings to, you
She's
know, be
so
on the lookout.
young.
Um, and I was just saying, if the civil suit moves forward, I think we're gonna see a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, and again, as a reminder, Judge Hunter W. Carroll says he'll release his decision within 2 weeks of this past Wednesday, which gives us about roughly 10 or so days before the decision is released by Judge Carroll. All right, let's open up now. We've got Brian Enton with us for another 10 or so minutes. Let's open it up now to Q&A.
Dear God, I wish I was right at your side. I post out these cases. Oh, okay. And for missing person, I just haven't figured out how to start. You know what, uh, Charlize, uh, sign up for your page. Go what you do. How did I start? Uh, let me see. Hold on. Let me show you something. Well, this what you do, Charlize. Go to. Did you email me? You didn't get my email address. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it right. Charlize, you need a page. You need a page. Okay. It's Lanita Gill. It's Lanita Gill 523 at gmail.com. Lanita Gill 523 at gmail.com. You need to email me so I can get you started. Did you get the email address? I just gave it to you. You need to email me. It's Lanita Gill 523 at gmail.com. So I can get you started so you can go on and start. Okay. It's Lenita, Lenita Gill 523 at gmail.com. And when I get off of live, get off of here, email me right away. It's my name, 523 at gmail.com. And I show you how to get on there real quick. I tell you what you need to do real quick. Okay. I'm about to get off and I'm about to tell you how to get started, okay? All right. I just got it. So I'm about to email you and I'm going to tell you how to do it. All right, then. Y'all, thanks for joining. This is your girl, the real deal, Lanita Gill. I will. Okay. I will see y'all later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.